Hi, I'm the Gentleman Cabbie, and in an age where we're permanently plugged into cyberspace, I'm on a mission to bring the art of conversation back to the streets of London.
Hello, my name's Jason Reed. I now work as a video producer. I've done lots of jobs in the past, but that's what I'm doing now.
What do you think the most difficult decision you've ever had to make in your life is?
I think it was maybe a few years ago, actually, just making the decision to quit my job and go freelance.
What were you doing?
I was working as a video producer still, but I was working for a company that did lots of corporate videos. So I thought, well, you know, I'm just gonna quit my job. No particular reason other than I was a bit bored.
What's the dream job?
Oh, the dream job would be, well, I love doing what I do, so it would just be to do more of it, but bigger and better. So I make lots of videos, music videos, and occasionally we get to go out and make our own short films. And so far we've made a few short films, and this year we got to go to Cannes Film Festival with a film we made, which is brilliant. And it was great.
What sort of films were they?
The film we made that got to Cannes was called The Sitter. Right. It's a 10-minute thriller starring Sophie Aldred, who was Doctor Who's assistant back in the 80s. Previously made one called The Landlady, starring Caroline Munro, who was a Bond girl back in the 70s, and she was also in quite a few Hammer films and cinema films, and so she was quite a big icon back in the day.
How come you know all these glamorous ladies from the 70s?
Well, a friend of mine runs this thing called the Misty Moon Film Society, where they get people in to do nights where they sort of talk about their career and have a film screening and stuff. And we'd seen Caroline. She came to our local pub in Ladywell and did a talk, a Q&A session. And so we wrote this film called The Landlady, which was very much a kind of tribute to the Hammer horror style of filmmaking. And we thought, we'll just ask her if she wants to do it, and she did, and that was great. And because she was in Hammer horror, it was a nice throwback. Yeah. You know, it was a nice connection. So yeah, it's amazing. If you ask people, they often just, yeah, I'll do that.
So if you could have directed one film, which would it be?
I think probably Jaws.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I love Jaws.
Right.
And it's a great testament to Steven Spielberg that he was able to make such a good film with so many technical challenges at the time, because the shark didn't work basically. And so it became a film about the characters.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's the characters that make that film. And in Jaws, you really care about those three guys.
Yeah. And
you kind of want them to live, and that's always got to be kind of the motivation for any film. You've got to sort of be in there, rooting for the characters or hating the characters, or just, you know. So yeah, I think Jaws as a great piece of directing, because he made a brilliant film against the odds.
Obviously, there's the Labour leadership contest
it's very
going
much
on
in the news at the
moment.
moment.
Are you into politics?
Well, surprisingly, I've not really been very politically motivated most of my life.
Yeah.
You know, I've always, but I'm actually one of the people who's, you know, the many people who've just joined the Labour Party.
Oh really?
As an affiliated member.
No way.
So I can cast my vote for Jeremy Corbyn.
That is brilliant.
It's this amazing kind of dialogue we're being sort of fed all the time, that this guy's like unelectable, and yet there's all these people turning up to his like speeches, and there's massive queues, and it's clearly very popular. Like young people are actually starting to think, well, actually, you know, what about ideals? What about principles? Where does that come into politics?
So we may be having some more strikes coming up. I just wondered how you feel as a Londoner and a commuter. How do you feel about the train drivers and the people, you know, the people on the tube striking?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know a lot of people get very angry about this, but I don't, because I think, you know, if you've got a genuine grievance, and I don't know enough about it to say, the grievances are completely right or fair, because I don't know enough details. But if you have got, you know, the right to strike is an important right. The right to say, I'm not working because conditions, because pay.
Absolutely.
Well, whatever, it's an important right for any people to have. And so, and let's face it, if you get, you know, it's very much a first world problem. Or I'm a bit late for work. You know, there are people who walk 20 miles a day just to get water.
Yeah.
So to whine and whinge, I didn't get my tube today, I had to take a bus, I had to walk 5 stops. You know, there's worse things in life.
Absolutely.
You know,
everything becomes relative, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, it does. So a bit of disruption now and again. It's not the worst thing that can happen. So I hope that the tube drivers just get what's fair for them.
So what do you think, I always like to ask my passengers about their views on black cabs versus Uber.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting topic, because you know, I've used Uber. You know, some people say, oh, you've got to stamp out Uber, but I don't think you can, because it'd be like saying you've got to get rid of Google or something. Things move on, but obviously if it's unregulated and it's, you know, there are obvious dangers that come with a service that doesn't adhere to proper regulations, because people getting into cars can be dangerous. Well, and you need to have a degree of competence and degree of knowledge if you're going to drive people from A to B.
It's a question of fair regulation, I think, which is why, you know, it's what most cabbers are annoyed about is the fact that there is regulation, but it's not applied on an even hand across the board. So Uber are allowed to get away with operating in a very grey, almost illegal way. Yeah. Whereas black cabs have to follow the strictest regulations, probably.
And that's not fair, because everyone should really have. If your job is, you know, driving people from A to B, and that's your profession, then the same rules should really apply for anybody doing that job.
Thank you very much for taking part in the Gentleman Cabbie.
Thank you for getting me home safely.
Not a problem.
It's been a very pleasant experience, far better than the regular Uber service, I must say. So there we go.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much for making this episode really good.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing it online.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for watching the Gentleman Cabbie. Click the videos to see more great interviews, and don't forget to subscribe.